Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hail to you. Thank you very much for joining us on the Stoic Lokian. We're in the series where we take a deep dive into each stanza of the Havamal. And just a reminder, I guess, the reason I do this, on my YouTube channel, I started reading the stanzas of the Havamal in chunks of 20. I got to episode 4, reading stanzas 61 to 80, when I thought to myself, anyone can buy this on Amazon and anyone can sit down and read this in their own time, but what do each of the stanzas actually mean? And I wanted to get into that, and as both a Lokian / heathen and a Stoic, I look at the Havamal from all angles, from both a heathen perspective and a Stoic perspective, because I used to ask myself the question, am I, as a heathen and Stoic, contradicting my views? But actually, when you do some reading into both Stoic virtues and heathen virtues, they collide and cross over very nicely. So hence the reason for the Stoic Lokian. So now that I've rambled a little bit, I'll jump straight into stanza 4, if I may. So stanza 4, water to him is needful who for refection comes, a towel and hospitable invitation, a good reception if he can get it, discourse and answer. So this is very much following on from the themes in stanzas 2 and 3, hospitality being the main theme, but now it's starting to go that little bit further. It's no longer necessarily about where they're sat, are they warm, are they fed, are they clothed. This is now about that element of good conversation as well. So in the context of Old Norse wisdom and modern day heathenry, this stanza from the Havamal emphasises the importance of hospitality and kindness towards guests. The reference to water, a towel, hospitality, reflects the customs of welcoming travellers and offering them refreshment. If you think back to what that harsh environment of the Scandinavian lands must have been like, water was a precious resource, and offering it was definitely a gesture of hospitality. The mention of a towel indicates the practical care given to guests, while the invitation and good reception highlight the importance of making visitors feel valued and comfortable. The stanza also suggests the value of engaging in meaningful conversation with guests, creating a sense of connection and camaraderie, not just plonking your guest in the corner and then not engaging in conversation with them, or you've got a few guests round, a few friends round, one of them's arrived a bit later than the others, you're all in conversation. It's not really fair on that additional guest who's turned up a bit later for them not to be involved in that conversation. So it's a reminder about the element of conversation, as well as making sure their basic needs and basic requirements are met. From a Stoic perspective, this stanza aligns again with the Stoic principles of virtue, kindness and social responsibility. The idea of offering water and extending an invitation speaks to the Stoic value of practicing benevolence and being virtuous members of society. Very important theme that runs throughout Stoicism. The stanza reflects the Stoic belief that virtuous actions contribute to the well-being of oneself and of others. Engaging in discourse and conversation also aligns with the Stoic emphasis on cultivating wisdom through meaningful interactions, as well as the idea of treating others with respect and care. So it aligns with that, not just about conversation and not just about learning from one another, as you quite often will during conversations, but it's also about that respect being shown to your guest in your home or to strangers when out and about in the world. So it all sort of plays hand in hand to each other. As a Stoic, it is important to extend your hand to the stranger and offer them the warmth of hospitality, because in their presence you also have the opportunity to embody the virtues of kindness and connection. It's that phrase of practice what you preach, I guess. If you're going to talk about being a kind person, live it. Be a kind person, genuinely. In the modern world, this stanza holds meaningful lessons that resonate across cultures and eras, and that's a phrase you'll hear me say quite often. The stanza underscores the importance of welcoming and treating guests with kindness. In a world, and I've spoke about this before in previous episodes, but in a world that can often be fast-paced, disconnected, just a bit crazy at times, offering that hospitality fosters a sense of community and belonging. So really important, and it's not just good for your guest, it's good for you too. Will make you feel better, physically and mentally. Providing basic comforts like water and a towel also reflects the virtue of practical kindness. Small gestures can have a significant impact on someone's experience and well-being. There's one of my favourite phrases, which I love, which is a little bit comedic. Smile and the world smiles with you. Fart and you're on your own. Resonates throughout this stanza as well, actually. Sort of that connection through conversation as well is also, really clear here. Engaging in meaningful conversation transcends time and culture. It really does. In the digital age where connections are often virtual, the value of genuine dialogue remains essential for building relationships. A few years ago, I founded a kindred, the Northwest Heathens. I'm no longer part of the council. It's being run by some fantastic people now. And Northwest Heathens are absolutely brilliant at physical interactions, at keeping everybody together. Even during COVID, we had socially distanced gatherings when it was safe to do so. And that was an essential theme run through. And that's a big shout out actually to the treasurer, Lou Nixon. Lou, you are a phenomenal part of the heathen community, and without you, the heathen community would not be as valuable as it is today. So that's just a bit of a shout out. So Northwest Heathens in the UK, fantastic kindred, and that emphasis on physical interaction really does continue, and it's recognised that it is essential for building relationships. Both Old Norse wisdom and Stoic philosophy also emphasise the responsibility to care for others, and you'll hear that through all of the stanzas in the Havamal pretty much. There's that emphasis on our and again I'm going to use the same word again, interconnectedness with one another. The stanza encourages us to be considerate and compassionate members of society, and Stoicism is very much the same. It's about society, it's about community. Stanza 3 also speaks to the importance of being present and attentive when interacting with others, not being distant, not switching off, not ignoring people. In our distraction, taking the time to engage authentically can lead to deeper connections. I'm a massive fan of sitting down to a stranger that I've never met before and saying, tell me about your philosophical beliefs, as opposed to, shit weather we're having today, innit? It's very different level of conversation, and I think this stanza resonates that throughout. So in essence then, stanza 3 serves as a reminder to treat others with kindness and respect, to create a sense of community and shared humanity. It aligns with the wisdom of Old Norse traditions and the Stoic ideals of virtue, social responsibility, and meaningful connection. Again, meaningful connection. So as I do with every episode, this one's a little bit shorter actually, and I guess it's because stanza 4 is following on to very serious, similar themes to stanzas 2 and 3, bit shorter this time. But as I end each episode, I will end the same by reading back to you again stanza 4. Water to him is needful who for refection comes, a towel and hospitable invitation, a good reception if he can get it, discourse and answer. Thank you to you. Hail to you. Please like, subscribe, comment, all the usual stuff that helps me keep this channel going and helps it raise its profile. I don't get paid for this, so it's nice just to have a little bit of feedback along the way. Helps me learn, helps me adapt and bring in new things however you want to see it evolve in the future. So please leave feedback. Again, hail to you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the other side. Thank you. Bye bye.